All right, it's Wednesday, September 6th. This is an end of the day SPY recap, and today we have a two down continuation that kind of stayed below the midpoint of the prior day, opened near the highs of the day, broke below those pre-market lows pretty early, and went down in two waves, as I'll show you in a second, towards the bottom of this gap, and that was kind of a potential target if we were going to get a continuation on the day. Discussed at the recap video yesterday how after this red day we still had this little target low to hit, and if we wanted to build some momentum we could fill in this gap, and that's what we've done at the moment. So we end up with a situation where there is a potential two up tomorrow, which would, if it triggers, kind of start getting things back in line. We still have to get above the open of the week, which is now up here. So if you look at the weekly chart, after 2 days, we kind of came down below the midpoint of the prior week. We opened up here near the top of that green bar. You expected maybe a minor pullback that would continue higher. In this case, we got a little deeper than you would think, but you can see where the close is right near that. Yet what I drew in early in the week was that yellow line around the midway point. So the question is that all, and do we kind of start up for the next 2 days, or do we kind of end with more of a red week here? That could either be an inside bar, or if we really, maybe just pause and don't do much tomorrow and then go strongly down, we can get a 2 down week. So continuity, that's the thing. The continuity is still to the downside on the week, but there is the potential kind of to reverse that if we can get a 2 up. So we'll have to see where opening price action is. Are we above or the midpoint of today as we start out? If not, then the tricky thing here is after this little rally towards the end of the day, that becomes a little bit of support. So maybe after this kind of strong move down for 3 days, we kind of consolidate tomorrow, and it's a tricky day of trading. But anyway, in terms of today, pretty clear what to do. First bar, you can see the pre-market range between the blue lines. First bar went down, held. Second bar inside. That's just a great signal to sell that breakout on bar 3. One big push down, pause, second push down. That's always what I'm looking for on the directional days. After that happens, note the way nothing else happens for the rest of the day. It reverses up, obviously, but there was no further downward action. And the reason you suspected that is because it reached its target, which was this whole gap area. Once we got the momentum, this was kind of what you were targeting to the downside. So very good day of trading to the short side, very clear. And, we knew yesterday if we didn't get that 2 down, 2 up reversal, then there was the potential on this 3 bar to, instead of reverse back up to the high, to kind of expand that range into kind of a bigger time frame. And at the moment, even though we kind of held the bottom of that gap, there's still the potential to come down here and take out, kind of higher highs here, and then this big green bar, lower lows. At that point, we want to see how the weekly chart ends up. The monthly chart is it's time to go in the month. We had that hammer bar to close the month, but we started red, and now we're kind of, eating it. Again, there's probably support around here, possibly if it's going to reverse up, but it's going to take now, a nice daily 2 up at this point to really even begin to consider the move back up. And then at that point, you want to see if it gets through the open of the week, if we end up, not getting through there, but kind of rallying a little bit, this might end up an inside kind of hammer bar that would project higher. And maybe, after kind of thinking we're going to head higher in August, maybe it takes 2 weeks before we eventually start up. So we'll find that out by the end of the week. So anyway, a little tricky tomorrow in terms of expectations. There's no real actionable signal for continuation to the downside. We filled the gap, and yet the upward move, even though it would be a definite signal, and we'll see if it unfolds, is still kind of, the continuity is still red on the month and red on the week until we get at least above this line for the week. So, it's not the clearest condition to trade here towards the end of the week, but we'll just have to see how things open tomorrow.